It is almost summertime. And heck, for many of you, by the time you see this, it may already be summertime. And I know what many of you are thinking. I'm gonna have to get a part-time job because this is the worst time to try and sell candles. But it doesn't have to be. If you are a small candle business owner, or even one that's been around for a while but just still trying to navigate your way around this industry, I'm gonna offer you 14 tips to help you sustain or even boost your sales during summer. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Wade with Black Tie Barn, and be sure to stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to cover some tips and strategies that you may have never even considered. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to check out others on the channel and subscribe to the channel below. It's completely free to do so, of course. And by the way, a big shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's get started. Now we're going to start off with a few basics, but they will get a little bit sweeter and juicier as we get going. And the first is a given. I mean, we should focus more on summer fragrances, obviously. Scents that are more associated with summer. For example, your fresh fruits, your florals, your tropical aromas, and your beach scents. Now, again, I know that's a given, but it's still worth mentioning. Now, a little spin on the type of fragrances you sell is to shift gears a little bit. So maybe instead of focusing so much on the fragrance or the scent itself, we focus more on setting a mood and building candles and collections more around a summer theme. For example, some candle collections that are designed more around taking summer family vacations or trips or other summer events, being outdoors, farm and garden collections, summer camp collections, going back to school, things like that. So basically you're just designing your candles and your labels themed around the holiday or the season of summer, not necessarily just summery scents. So your label designs, your social media posts, your marketing, your names of your candles can be all themed around summer, selling more of an experience than you are a fragrance. And then another kind of shift in the type of product to sell is not necessarily focusing on fragrance or collections at all. You don't even have to think about summer. If you're in the middle of a season where you're finding it more difficult to sell your normal type of candles, your normal type of fragrances, consider just having a little fun with it during your slow season. So maybe you create a whole line of candles that are just funny memes and funny phrases and funny sayings on your candles. You know, there's a whole lot of examples of this all over Pinterest and Etsy and other stores online. So just use those as some inspiration. But there's no rules that just because it's summer, you can only sell summer fragrances. Or just because it's summer, you have to design your entire theme of collections around summer. You can just have fun with it. Maybe use summer as a chance to experiment with some new ideas, test new ideas before you get to your quote unquote busy season. Another option for summer is creating citronella candles. Citronella candles are not new and there's plenty of competition on that, and you can go to any store during the summer and find examples of citronella bucket candles. However, most of those are very boring, very plain. They're just metal pails, and for a lot of people, that's all they want. They're just looking for a citronella candle to keep bugs away outside. But that doesn't mean you can't also have some fun with it. Make funny sayings or funny labels like bug off or something like that is the name of the candle. In fact, I actually sold that exact candle several years ago. So you can have a lot of fun with citronella candles. I know the main purpose is to provide that fragrance and to keep bugs away, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun with it too. All right, so enough talking about different fragrances and spin-offs that you can do of labeling and branding. Let's talk about some different strategies that help you bring in more revenue, more sales during the summer. Well, another given that many of you have probably already considered is participating more in local events. Local events such as farmer markets, craft shows, festivals, and fairs. These types of events are well attended during the summer, and they offer an excellent opportunity for you to showcase your products. And if you sell any of your products during these times, it might not lead to a huge growth in sales at that very moment, but they might remember you and they might come back for fall and winter. So not only are you picking up some additional sales during summer, but you're setting up some more future potential sales. The more you get your products out there, the more you bring on new customers and attract brand new buyers for the first time, you increase the chance that you get repeat customers in the future. Now, speaking of attracting new customers, this is a great time of the year to offer some additional promotions and sales for various reasons. One is to just make sure you're continuing to sell products during the quote unquote slow season of candles, but also it's just an opportunity to market yourself a little bit more where other candle businesses are just kind of coasting during this time of year. You should stay aggressive, you should stay after it. And you can do that with some summer sales, like a spring fling as you get from winter into spring, or a summer special that wasn't exactly creative, a back to school sale like in August or late summer. So there's a lot of things that you can run during the summer to help promote your candles and run little specials. Now you can take this very literal and just run like, buy one, get one half off. You can create actual specials that you don't run any other time of year, but I'd be a little careful on doing that. You'd never want to get super predictable with running sales and promotions. Like if you're known to always run a buy one, get half off every single June, you might cause people to wait to purchase from you until you get to June. That's not a huge risk, but it is something to, it's worth considering. So if you're going to run sales, don't be don't be super predictable about it. Mix it up, mix up the type of sale you're running. Maybe you only run sales on certain products and you just kind of keep people guessing, keep people on their toes. The point is to stay active during the summer. And one of the great ways to stay active is to run specials, run promotions. Try to keep traffic coming to your site, whether that's on Shopify or Etsy, Facebook, wherever. Another great thing you can try are candle parties. And I've talked about this in a few other videos. You can do these any time of year, but summer is a great time to do it because people are looking for more things to get out and do during the summer. Plus, again, you're looking for additional ways to boost some sales and boost some awareness of your brand. What better way to do that than host some local candle parties? If you're interested in me doing a video specifically on how to run these and how to set these up, let me know and I'll be happy to do one. But to summarize it, you're essentially doing a house party, either your place or a friend or family members. They invite a bunch of people, you have some snacks and drinks or whatever, and then you also just bring some of your products to display. Maybe you can even make some in front of people depending on your setup and where you're doing it. You get people an opportunity to sample upcoming fragrances for the fall and winter season, but also a chance to purchase from you there. And you give us, a candle party special or something like that. So it's a great way to drum up some local business, but also, again, this can make you an extra several hundred to $1,000 or whatever in just one night's worth of work. And that can help you kind of bridge that gap from late winter, early spring to fall. Now, this next one is one of my favorite strategies. I don't do it enough, but I actually do think it's a great strategy, and I'd like to get back to doing it more myself. And that is to run limited release lines or limited release collections. Let's say in June, you're going to roll out 2 new fragrances that you want to try out, and you make them a limited release. So you market the heck out of them, you talk about them on social media, you post about them, you send them out in your newsletter, whatever you can do. This is a limited collection. And the idea is you create this collection that you're only going to sell during June, maybe only even 2 weeks in June, for example. You're only going to sell it in June. You only have a limited supply. Once you're out, you are out. Now, a little secret, you always have the right to sell this again down the road. If it does so amazing and you get constant feedback months and months later that we love this so much, we wish you would sell this again, there's no rules here. There's nothing saying you can't bring it back later by popular demand. You see that all the time with fast food chains, for example, right? We bring in something back like the McRib by popular demand. But the idea is you're creating a sense of urgency. This is a fragrance, a candle collection that you are selling right now while supplies last until it's gone. That will really, really help customers feel like, well, this is my only chance to get this. I got to try it. So that's one way to approach this limited line, but there are other ways to do this too. So you don't have to just do a one-time limited release collection. You can just do weekly and monthly specials. For example, you have a special or fragrance of the month or week or whatever time frame you choose. You make a bunch of that candle. So you buy enough oils and everything to make plenty of stock for that one scent, that one candle, which by the way helps you lower your cost a little bit because you're buying a little bit more bulk if you do that, depending on how many you're going to make. And the idea is sort of similar to that limited release collection where you're going to sell this at a slightly discounted rate all week long until supplies last, right? Until it's gone. Let's say you're going to sell Macintosh apple and sea salt and orchid or whatever for the month of June. You're going to post this. That's your fragrances of the month or fragrances of the week, and you make plenty, and maybe it's 20% off, 25% off of that candle, that scent throughout the week or throughout the month. And sell as many as you can till you're out. Then the following week or following month, you run another fragrance of the week or fragrance of the month. And you just keep repeating this process. Now you can do this all year long if you want, but during the summer, it can really, really help boost your sales. Now, before we get to some of my other favorite ideas and tips here, this is a great opportunity to mention Skillshare again, because the last 3 tips that we talked about, summer sales and promotions, candle parties, and limited release collections, all have one thing in common. You need to market those to your customers. Otherwise, they have no idea. You need to let them know about these opportunities so that they and you can take advantage of it. Well, Skillshare can help you with that. If you are unfamiliar with Skillshare, which has sponsored several videos on this channel, they are an online learning platform with tons of classes on tons of topics. And when you're using Skillshare, you have unlimited access to all of them. So whether it's starting and running a business, product photography, creating a website, bookkeeping, or social media marketing strategy. And that is what's going to help you sustain and boost your sales during summer. For example, a class that I recently completed by Maggie Stera called Powerful Social Media Marketing for Beginners was really, really good. She was candid, casual, relatable, but she covered so much in this class. And maybe my favorite thing about this class in particular was that she went into how you can leverage other platforms that new businesses often skip, like Twitter or LinkedIn and so on, and how those other platforms can also really help drive traffic to your business, even though they're not as sexy as other platforms like Instagram and TikTok. So it's a great class and I would definitely encourage checking it out. But that being said, if you're already leveraging and living on Instagram and you need some help and tips with Instagram engagement, then check out this class from Holly Snarvez called Video for Instagram, Telling an Engaging Story in Less Than a Minute. Look, it can be hard sometimes to get engagement on videos, and it can be even more difficult to be persuasive and to drive traffic from videos. But being able to do both succinctly in less than a minute is an art form, and that class might help. Now, personally, I'm going to be using a lot of these strategies myself that I learned from these classes to help me market the store that I'm going to work on opening here soon, as well as launching new products. Now, whether your goal is simple, like just letting your customers know about sales and promotions, or a big goal, like opening a store and trying to let your entire community know about it and try to drive traffic to it, there is no goal too small or too big that Skillshare can't help with. So check out Skillshare in the description below. The first 1,000 people to click that link in the description gets a free 1-month trial to Skillshare. That means unlimited classes on any topic. All right, back to the list, and I have no idea what number we're on here. So let's just get right back into it. My next piece of advice would be focus this time on new wholesale accounts, specifically to prep those accounts for fall and winter. Because again, that is when they will probably sell the majority of them. Now I know what you're thinking. That's not summer sales, but it's summer commitments, and that's just as important. So when you're not getting direct sales at that very moment, the next best thing is commitment for future sales. So hit your community and stop by these local shops and boutiques, drop off a wholesale kit with some pricing information, a few samples, and say, hey, here's a few samples. I'm totally willing to sell to you some summer fragrances right now, but I wanted to get with you before our busy fall and winter season hits, and I would love to work with you. And leave them some information, leave them your contact number, and follow up with them in a week or two. But this is a great time to be doing that. Summer is a great time to be working on wholesale. Now, similar to the candle party we talked about earlier, you can also host a candle making workshop. This is where you invite customers, sort of like the party, but in this case, they learn how to make candles with you. Now, this is much better to do if you have a space to do this yourself, or you can look into renting space as well. But the idea is you set up a workshop where you provide the wax and the jars, the materials. There's videos on this topic as well. And again, if you'd like to see me do a video on this and go in more depth, just let me know. And you invite, let's say 10 people, and you have everything ready and staged up. They get to choose from a couple different fragrances. You've done the testing all these, so you already know like how much fragrance they need and what wicks and everything. And you just walk through the process with them and let them make the candle. Usually, depending on the wax and the size of the candle and all that, it's really not ready for them to take home unless you plan on hosting this workshop for like 7 hours, which no one's going to do that. So what most people do is they come, they enjoy the experience, they make the candles, you send them home for some information, and then they just come back to pick up their candles like a day later or something like that. Very common thing to do. But these candle workshops are a lot of fun. I get requested for them all the time. A lot of people around here know about my new warehouse, which is where I'm at now, as well as my retail shop. And so I've got people constantly asking when I'm going to start doing these. And if you're one of them, I don't know yet, but I'm going to. Next up is to collaborate with other businesses, which is sort of like wholesale, but we're going to go a little bit step further. So instead of just simply dropping off and selling your products to retailers to sell them as wholesale, you can work with other businesses like spas, yoga studios, hotels, and offer to sell them candles or create candles for them for their summer-themed baskets and packages. This can help you reach an audience that you never really thought about reaching before. This works really, really well during the summer because a lot of the fragrances that are popular during spring and summer are also ones that would be appropriate and suitable for things like spas. And then for hotels, this is a way to reach customers not just in town, but ones that are possibly even traveling. So you might pick up customers out of state that you had no idea and really no super easy way to reach before, other than, of course, your online website. But now they know who you are because they've experienced your candle firsthand without even having to buy one online. So that is a strategy I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but it's definitely a great one. Get creative. During the summer, this is a time to get creative and try things. Just try things. Another option is to offer custom candles. This can be really challenging to do during the busier times of the year. But if you've got the time during the summer to create custom candles and custom labels, that can be a huge win for you during the summer. Because what type of events are popular during the summer? Weddings, bridal showers, baby showers. These are great opportunities to create unique and personalized candles for those events. Doesn't mean you have to do it all year if you don't want to, but why not take advantage of it during the summer? Next is to consider partnering with influencers. You may already be working with occasional influencers, or maybe you never have, but summer's a great chance to give it a shot as well because they already have an active audience all the time. So their audience isn't necessarily waiting for certain times of year to buy certain things. They just tend to buy and listen to whatever the influencer tells them. And this is a great chance to do it. So find an influencer that you like, that you trust, check them out on Instagram or wherever they do most of their work, and make sure it kind of fits, what you're looking for, and you'd be happy to work with them. And then reach out to them and see if they're willing to help you in some way. And this might not be for everyone. This is just something to try. If you feel like really nothing else is working, this might be a pool that you might want to dip your toes in. The best influencers for this type of industry are ones that are heavy in home decor and lifestyle. They can really help promote your products, your brand for you. And again, if it's a good influencer, they already have a built-in audience, which could be a great way to reach a newer audience that you didn't have before. Now, you can also consider creating a subscription service. For example, a service where your customers receive a new 1 or 2 candles every single month or a week. Well, you can do whatever you want, but the idea is just to have a subscription service. The benefit of this is fairly obvious. It's a great way to get a consistent stream of sales and revenue throughout the summer months. And honestly, you can do it throughout the entire year. And there's some built-in side bonuses with the strategy. One is that you create inherently a loyal customer because they are purchasing a subscription service. So they're continuing to get your products, whether they intentionally go and purchase a new one every month or not. They are subscribing to you. They're basically saying, I'm your loyal customer for the next 12 months. Or however long they stick with their service. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, what if the summer they don't want candles, they'll just cancel the service? How many people do you think would just cancel their candle subscription service for a couple months just to start it back up in the fall? No one's going to do that. They're just going to continue to let their candle subscription run all year long. So if they had every intention of starting it at the beginning of the year and they're planning on using it at the end of the year for fall and winter, they're just going to keep it running during the summer. These are people that just love trying new candles all the time. That's why they signed up for a subscription service. So if their goals are aligning with your goals, well, then just make that automated by creating a subscription service. And that way they don't really forget to buy a candle from you, even though they do enjoy them, and you spend less money on trying to get that customer back. Long story short, you keep those sales coming in even during the off season. Honestly, the truth is, as a business owner, there is no off season. There are just different seasons requiring different strategies and adjustments. So while so many other businesses are kind of using this time just to kind of lay back and chill and ride it out until the next busy season, make every season your busy season. Check out Skillshare in the description below. The first 1,000 people to click that link gets a free 1-month trial to Skillshare. Check out this next video. Thanks for watching and subscribe to the channel below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.